Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about the research field, information, bits and bytes, and knowledge that they can use to impact them both inside and outside their current place of work. On RBDR today, Brad Bortner winds up his discussion about the projectability of research, including how the problem can be fixed and needs to be, and what does that actually cost. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by Bortner Research and Consulting, Unlocking Success. Bortner helps executives obtain uniquely rich and accurate market feedback to present, package, position, price, and market their brands, products, and services, and maximize market appeal and adoption. And Bortner is staging a webinar on the most successful customer-centric companies and what distinguishes them. And they lead off with Amazon, whom they think is the best. Details about the webinar at the end of today's RBDR. On our report today, we're going to complete our discussion that we held last week with Brad Bortner about research projectability. It is an issue that research vendors and research clients are grappling with, and in some cases are not. Vendors, it seems, are simply not paying sufficient attention to the problem, although many of them know it exists, and most client research departments are unaware of the problem's existence. So today, Brad Bortner speaks with us about whether there are solutions, what that might be, and what it's going to cost the end client in order to execute.
So clients need to know it's an issue, so they ask about it. Even if they're not willing to pay for it, they should make market researchers be sweating it, because they need to demand quality. And on the market research side, they should be able to it should at least be one of the things they're trying to sell on. Hey, yeah, you could go with those people. It's cheaper, but our stuff's actually going to be predictive of your market. Their stuff, not so much. I once won an engagement just on that argument. It was for a large B2B technology segmentation project, and I was presenting to the C-suite. And I didn't know who we were competing with, but I knew we were competing with some management consultancies. And I basically, at that time, it was about 8 years ago, I said, look, some people are going to come in here and say that you can get C-level technology decision makers in online panels. And maybe you can, and then I looked at each of them. They were all C-level IT folks. And I said, are you in an online panel? Are you in an online panel? And I could see the color drain from their face.
They were or they were not?
They were not. Of course not. They're busy people. What C-level, what C-level enterprise person is doing online surveys on a regular basis around technology decisions? It's you gotta wonder, in some circumstances, who those people are. I once had a client come to me from a major financial institute, and she wanted me to do a survey of hyper affluent people using online panels. And I was like, their people are not even on online panels. It's not going to work. Yeah, so I lost the bid because she found someone who told her that it could be done.
How would you posture to a client why using you would be a better choice, either with that supposition about quality being upfront or something that you never even bring up, but that is ingrained in what you're offering them?
See, I think you've answered your own question in effect. If I were running a market research firm right now, I wouldn't be making a big deal about how much it costs, but every presentation I did that was quantitative or even qualitative, I would bring up the projectability thing as part of the deck. And I'd say, here are the things we do to try to make sure that your stuff is projectable to the universe you're trying to go after. And that would get them asking the other vendors, well, what are you doing? I mean, you know how this works. So they'll send out RFIs, you send a response, they get smarter based on your best thinking, and then you see your own words coming back at you.
Who else besides the government is really
I would say some of the larger product companies like Procter & Gamble. I mean, there are some really good market research groups amongst enterprises. So I'm not really speaking to them about them as much, but I'm talking about everyone else where they don't know. And I've certainly seen this in the technology industry where people, this may be the only study they've done in 5 years because they have a new product coming out. And or they're doing their first segmentation ever, or they're redoing a segmentation and they assume it's just as good as it was, and or they're doing a customer choice model, and they don't know enough to ask, hey, how do we ensure that this is really predictive of our markets?
You're basically saying that the fix, to projectability is probably a very customized thing from project to project, right?
Well, I think that you could have the actual weights will be custom, but I think you could build sophisticated models that are very reactive to things that would show you things are changing.
Here's the ultimate unfair question.
Sure.
Wild guess, how much more would it cost for this industry to basically transform, all the important projects out there into something that is projectable?
So if all you're talking about is people need to be smart and not just take data and sort of, in a very rudimentary way, weight it, if they weighted it all, and send it back to the clients, and actually, have the type of analytics that are required and have the smart people thinking about it or a model, you're probably talking about the equivalent of a head count on big projects, right? So and you might be renting a statistician, or you're renting part of a model that someone else has built. Okay. So it's not like, so you might be talking 10%. I mean, I'm not talking about, hey, avoid online panels or go back to phone or use buggy whips to find people. I mean, none of that. I'm talking about being smart with the data you're gathering, and knowing that you have to weight it appropriately. And also, and this is sort of this would be sort of not a one-off cost, but it would be upfront loaded, not every project. But people should be thinking about highly reactive weighting models, that can, for politics, look at, likely turnout shifts. But for other markets, technology or fashion or whatever, cars, that it's very reactive to the psychological changes that you're seeing.
Our thanks to Brad for some really insightful information over the last couple of days. That is your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored today and this week by Bershik Research and Consulting, unlocking success. Bershik helps executives obtain uniquely rich and accurate market feedback to present, package, position, price, and market their brands, products, and services in order to maximize market appeal and adoption. And John Bershik is here to preview what's coming in a free February webinar, where you will find out about keys to customer-centric success. Every company benefits from greater customer centricity, but John focuses on the lead company in the field, among others. So listen to this.
Nearly every company today says they care about their customers, that they listen, that their ultimate goal is to be customer-centric. Yet who is really doing this? Research tells us that up to 80% of all customer intelligence initiatives fail to meet their objectives. Yet there is one company who actually does this, and their name is Amazon. What makes Amazon so different? From our latest research, Amazon is achieving what we call customer intelligence maturity. In fact, they have earned the right to be called the Customer Intelligence Maturity Gold Standard. If you want to see more about our newest research on how Amazon is achieving this compared to 26 other leading brands, join our webinar in February called Are You Keeping Up or Falling Short? To learn all about it. That's February 22nd. That's a Wednesday. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time, 1 o'clock East Coast time, and we'll send out more information if you sign up for that.
You can look for the link to the webinar to sign up. It's in the email to our subscribers and in the description box underneath today's video. Of course, we hope you have a great research day, and even more so that we'll see you back here tomorrow.